This is Jeremy Riffle, Superintendent of Triton School Corporation, along with Mason McIntyre, the Athletic Director of Triton Junior Senior High School. And we're just here for another edition of the Triton Trojan Spotlight. It's been a while, Mason, since we've come before our community, but we wanted to make sure we did that, kind of give them some updates on what's happening with the Triton Activity Center, and just the great things that are happening in our school corporation, both in the classroom, extracurricular activities, and just a lot of things to celebrate. So we're going to do that today. I want to begin this spotlight by talking to you about the Sports Physical Night that's going to be taking place on April 10th. We are lucky to have doctors and nurses on site to give some physicals to our athletes. Anything you want to talk to us a little bit about that, Mason?
Yeah, sure. So it's $10 for each student athlete, and so it's a fantastic deal. We're partnering with Kosciuszko Community Hospital and Lutheran Health Network. That's kind of part of the partnership that we've had with them, so we're excited to continue that. What I would encourage is for people to take advantage of this, because what usually happens is they wait till the last minute, and it's a week before the season starts, and then they call the doctor, and the doctor says you can't get in for 3 weeks. So I know sometimes people get a free physical with their insurance, but this is $10, so it's a great deal. We hope a lot of people take advantage of it.
Something else that we're super excited about is a fun event every year. It's the annual, in fact, the 10th annual FFA Auction that's going to be taking place on April 13th. So it's outside of our spring break this year, so hopefully get a lot in attendance, a lot of awesome items that are going to be in that auction, and we're hoping to see a lot of people there. Some of the individual things that have been happening in our corporation, Mason, we try to get that out on Facebook, but in the end, I feel we don't do that enough service. I don't know the best way to do that other than just coming before you today and saying a lot of students, a lot of scholars have represented us at state qualifiers or state championship things here the last few weeks. So we're just going to run down a few of those. A couple wrestlers. We have Wyatt Davis and Bo Snyder. Wyatt Davis represented the elementary school at a state wrestling competition, did very, very well. I think he was the youngest kid in his class and got third place at the state competition. And then, of course, Bo Snyder went to semi-state and represented Triton School Corporation there. So just a lot of great things. Band and choir have received multiple golds at the state competitions. Congratulations to them and Mr. Seal. Elementary robotics went to Lucas Oil Stadium and competed at the VEX Robotics State Championship there. DECA, and then, of course, we had the distinguished young women, Abigail Powell, represented Triton School Corporation in that event, along with just here recently, Ty Orson was named to the CAA, so the Indiana Football Coaches Association North All-Star team or football team. So that's just an amazing feat, and we're just so proud of them. I'm just so proud of our scholars and how our community continues to rally together. And speaking of, Mason, our community rallying together, man, it's so good to be in this facility. Not without a lot of things that we've had to kind of monitor and even sometimes redo. But I truly feel like we've done our community proud as far as working really, really hard to make sure that the money is spent well, and continuing to make this an awesome facility that's going to bless our kids and community in the future. So do you want to kind of give us an update on what's happening in this facility, where we're at, what we can expect to see in the next few weeks?
Sure. So we're standing here on the competition floor. This will be used for all of our junior high games. So, those kids have been playing in the elementary before, so we're excited for them to have their own space here in the activity center. We have a beautiful logo that you can see on the floor here, and just the colors are really coming to life in the building. For a long time, it was just some gray walls, and it kind of looked kind of bare, but now we have some color with the blue wall pads that have gone up around the building. All of the columns now are covered in pads. So that's just really popping here in the new activity center, so we're excited about that. The floor painters are finishing up here on the floor paint this week. They'll be finished with that hopefully today, actually. And so they'll be coming in to put the final coats of finish on and those kind of things here in the next week. Following that comes the bleachers. So we'll have about 500 seats in those bleachers that'll be coming in probably sometime next week. And kind of just wrapping up here as we get to the end of this project. But it's turning into a beautiful facility, and one I think that we'll really be proud of. I think our taxpayers and community members here that have been so supportive of this will be very pleased with the final product.
Thank you. And just like with any project, any home project, any school project, any building project that people have been a part of, it's not been without some trials and some tribulations. And I want to thank you. I want to thank Mr. Ross, Mr. Gephardt for just kind of sticking in there. I know Mrs. Barnhart has been the board representative on that, and we've worked through some stuff, and I feel like we've worked really, really hard to represent our community well, to make sure that we do get the best product possible. The two other projects that our community entrusted us with was the HVAC system at the elementary school, which is working great. So we're excited when we have kids for summer school this year that we'll actually have some air conditioning. It seems hard to think we're talking about air conditioning with all the crazy winter we've had, but that'll come, just like it does every year in Indiana. But then also the high school roof was a large project as well, and that's been completed and continue to kind of mark some things off the punch list there, but we're super excited to wrap these projects up, to be honest with you, and just and move on to allow our community and our students to really take full advantage of this. So I just thank you, Mason. Anything else you'd like to share with our community as it relates to the facility, wrestling room, those type of things, or anything?
Yeah, so just maybe just a quick look at some of the other benefits that are going to come from being able to do this facility. It's kind of almost a domino effect on the things that we're going to be able to do in the other areas. So just looking at that, the wrestling room will be put into the back of this facility, and it's about 3,000 square feet. So if you've been down in the dungeon now, then you know that it's going to be quite an improvement for those guys, and they're really excited about that. Moving them out of there is going to allow us to do some things in that space. So we're going to move our athletic training room for Mr. Callahan. We'll get moved over to the old wrestling room. In Mr. Callahan's training room now will be the washer and dryer. So our laundry room now will be placed in that space. As most of you probably know, it's stuck back in the boys' locker room now. So it's just not ideal for having managers and that kind of stuff be in that space. So it'll be in a gender-neutral space. So we're really excited about that. Also, that the old wrestling room will create some storage spaces that we need inside, as well as a team meeting room. So a lot of people don't really know about those kind of things that are going to be a part of this project because they weren't part of really the design phase or any of that. So we're excited about just the new opportunities that's going to bring for us inside. So again, we'll probably show that kind of stuff as we get along, but we're excited about what that's going to do for us as well.
The goal, Mason, in your tenure has been, let's try to make some first-class facilities. And I actually just talked to a superintendent yesterday. He said, Jeremy, he goes, do you realize how fortunate you guys are to have such a facility at a 1A school? And you know what? We don't want to be prideful about that, but we want to take pride in our facilities. And I think we're doing that. We want to make sure that we're providing our students with just a top-notch education, both in the classroom and outside of the classroom, as we know that sports and athletics and band and choir is an extension of our classrooms. So just a awesome opportunity for our kids, and we're super excited about what is to come. And we thank you once again, community, for your support. I want to wish our scholars and our teachers and community a wonderful spring break, and hopefully they have a little bit of time away to revitalize and be ready to finish the year strong. But all that to say, community, thank you for your support. Thank you for continuing to trust in us to utilize your tax dollars and your money in wise ways and be wise stewards of those funds. So I want to thank you. I want to wish you a wonderful spring break, and thank you for helping us build something great together.